Hello everybody, Glass Half Dead here, and today I am talking about Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team Into the Dark. That's right, into the Gallow Dark. And we have ourselves a What's in the Box from the Warhammer community. Guys, the last thing we got was the Kroot thingy-mabob. It was fine, it was good to talk about, but you know what? It was like 2 rules and a model. This is the question. We knew Kroot were coming. We knew Imperial Navy was coming. Now we have the terrain. And not only do we have the terrain, we have all the models, I think. We also have, you know what, let's just crack through, okay? I'm going to read the article. I'm going to go back, look at some cool models, see what else we've discovered. Because also, there's 1 or 2 bits in the video that don't appear in the article. Let's talk about them. Much like the Depths of a Space Hulk, the next box set for Kill Team has so far been a bit of a mystery. We know it features the Kroot Kimban rucking with the Imperial Navy, very orcish word, interesting, on an ancient derelict in deep space, but we've so far been kept, one might say, in the dark. Wow. What content, what writing, what lyricists we have at the Warhammer community there. Kill Team Into the Dark. Not any more. The time has come to take a big old gaze at all the lovely stuff you're getting in the launch box this new season for Kill Team. Let's enlarge and embiggen. It's not letting us do that. Can we zoom in? Okay, what do we see? What do we see? That is pixel quality is about 4 there. We see we're getting a lot of walls. And what are these walls? Okay, so these walls. This ain't no Zone Mortalis. In Zone Mortalis, which is the only other kind of indoor arena we have to, look at here, you've got very thick walls. I don't have my kit with me, but I'd say that the walls there are at least 1.5 inches, if not 2 inches thick. Certainly the pillars in there are a full like 2-inch block square. You know, these look to me to be more like, what's the word? The Sector Fronteris walls. Maybe even thinner. Like these look like thin walls. I think that's a really good thing. Certainly in the games of Kill Team that I've been playing, I've always felt that a thin wall adds so much more to the game than a thick wall. For example, in Morrock, having that big piece of terrain just sit right in the middle of the board, it was disruptive. It didn't necessarily add to the game, but it did disrupt the game. Whereas if you, because of the way, terrain works, if you had just a long wall the same size as that, it would add to the game and not disrupt the game, if that makes sense. Just my thoughts. Let's see what else we have here. We have doors that are open. We have these little light cover terrain bits dotted around the map. I assume like Arena from the old edition, which was the, for those of you that don't know, was the kind of competitive and indoor environment version of the old Kill Team. All of the light bits are going to be able to be, repositioned every game. And it looks like, now it could be my color blindness coming in here, but we seem to have on the map floor a bit of a grid, right? Look at all of these. This is a grid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, interesting. 6 by 7. Someone do the maths on that. 6 by 7? Anybody? Anybody? No? Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. We'll come back to that. The box contains absolutely everything you need to get stuck in with the best sci-fi skirmish game in the galaxy, including rules, terrain, tokens, cards, combat gauges, dice, and 24 miniatures make up 2 complete kill teams. Take a look. 24 miniatures. Okay. Now, I'm no mathematician, but that is more than 10 per side. You know what? I probably should have actually looked at this a little bit closer for the models. Sorry, I was so excited about the terrain there. Is there anything we can see about the models? If I'm just looking here, I'm seeing the Kroot Shaper with 2 hounds next to him. That's interesting. We see our Pekra boy up top here. Just a quick scan of the map. I'm not seeing the Pekra token. I assumed that his bird was going to be like another like base you could move around, but oh, is that it? No, I think that's the cat. Hard to say, hard to say. We see the guy with the bow there. We've seen him, yep. The Shaper. Not seeing anybody else really of note there. And I've got to say, just looking at it, all of the Imperial Navy just look like Imperial Navy to me. They're not really standing out, which is a bit of a... okay. Anyway, moving on. What else do we have to look at here? We have... Okay, nice. This time, the small squad action is heading into the dank, sprawling corridors of the Gallow Dark. They should have called it the Gallow Dank, I feel. Lost in the warp for more than 4 millennia, this space hulk has suddenly returned to the material realm, attracting interested boarding parties from all over the galaxy. What is this? Oh, okay, yeah. They did a fluff article. That's what that is. I thought they were about to link to another team. I was going to be, oh my gosh. Imperial Navy breaches. The Imperial Navy armsmen are the fighting troops of the Imperial Navy. They garrison Navis Imperialis assets, anything from orbital stations to mighty battleships. Breachers are the elite blunt instruments trained extensively in close-quarter fighting techniques and the perfect Imperial candidates to make first contact with the denizens of the Gallow Dark. Who have we got? We've got dude with a shotgun, girl with a helmet, and a bolt pistol, and a sword. So I'd guess off the top of my head that this is normal dude, and presumably leader, as we know that generally the formula in Kill Team is the leader gets a pistol and a power weapon of some sort. Is this a case of they've just given them a bolt pistol, but let's be honest, we're all going to give them a plasma? Who knows? Let's keep going. We have Axe Dude, and we have a Shotgun Dude with a shell ejecting as the slide is cocked back. Very cool, very cool. Axe Dude, undoubtedly, because it's a regular human, that's going to be like a 2-3 dice weapon hitting on 4s. Lol. We've got the cat, and we've got I'm going to guess that's a Auspex type thing with the guy pushing it. Nice, seems fair. Okay, we've got Shield Breacher Dude. Presumably he's going to be a guy with a shield. I would assume similar kind of rules to the Shield Dude from the Blooded, whatever he's called. We've got what, isn't that a las cannon? Does he have an underslung las cannon there? Or is it he's got... No, las cannons have that little power pack thing. Maybe it's like a cross between a las cannon and a hell gun for stormtroopers. That's just the first thing that comes to mind. I don't know. Okay, cool. Ooh, that's a comms. That's a comms gadget if ever I've seen one. And this is a servo skull. All right then, fair enough. Yep, servo skull floating on a pipe. Pipe skull. He's just grinding. We've got guy with a grenade and extra armor with grenades strapped to him, presumably grenadier. We've got a guy with presumably medic because he's got like that kind of apothecary style stabby arm thing. Cool. And that's it. That's the Navy. That's the Navy. I'm gonna be honest. Let me swap to this guy here. They are, for my taste, so there's half of their aesthetic that I really like and half that I really don't like. I have never personally been into the whole submarine suit, like submarine underwater diving suit from the 50s. Aesthetic, not been my jam ever. I think they look silly. And that is clearly part of the influence here. I'm not saying it shouldn't be. I'm saying that for me personally, I don't like the aesthetical look. I'm not saying I can't see why they did it. What I do like, however, is kind of the more traditional navy coat undergarment, not undergarments, but that's the wrong word, isn't it? But like undersuit garments that they're wearing, which I do like. So like these little coats, I think look really cool. I think could look really good. Even in my style, because cloth can look great in all contrast. But then I don't really like the boots. I don't really like the weird shoulder pad thing. So questionable is all I can say there. Let's keep going. These bold fighters fight with combat shotguns, blast shields, and other breaching tools, perfect for getting up close and personal. You get 12 miniatures in all, 10 breachers, a cat unit, and a Geist skull. presumably that means the servo skull on a pipe is a Geist skull. Even dead breachers don't get to retire, not when their skulls are the perfect size for holding a compact explosive. Oh, could it be like a mine token that is movable? A movable mine from like Vetguard would be insane. Let's hope it's not that. Farstalker, Kimbound, the Kroot are an ever-evolving race of carnivorous warriors. I'll let you see that text, sorry. Known throughout the galaxy as savvy mercenaries, relying on their fighting skills and extraordinary fieldcraft, their Farstalker Kimbounds range far and wide across the galaxy, looking for fresh strains of beneficial genetic material to bring back to their shapers. Now, I'm going to read the bottom text as well. This particular group earned the right to loot the Gallowdark first, only to be left stranded when the Imperial Navy turned up and forced their war spheres to withdraw. Now they stalk the Space Hulk's corridors seeking a means of escape. There are 12 miniatures in all, 10 Kroot, including the keen-eyed Kroot Tracker and her bird, and 2 loyal Kroot Hounds. Guys, I know we want to get to the terrain, but bear with me on this, okay? Bear with me. Okay, this is needed to look at. So first things first, this Kroot in the top left here, cool looking eye. I've never really considered just doing white eyes and ignoring the pupil, but they've nailed that eye. Really cool, really nice. We then get the Shaper, who obviously has a Tau pulse rifle and a sword. Looks cool. Also a ground up skull to make some nice potions with. I don't know. Presumably he puts the brains of his opponents in there to eat them. Cool. We then get, oh, so they mentioned this guy here in the left. The Pistolier has to be, obviously, because he's got 2 pistols and he's drawing one of them. So what else is it going to be, right? We then have crossbow. Makes sense. Yep. Don't know what that's going to be. We then have a dude kneeling down. You never quite know. That could be a sniper or it could just be a standard Kroot rifle. We then have the guy below him who looks like he's holding it almost like a shotgun, kind of. Maybe we get access to, maybe we get a range. Maybe we can give them either the long Kroot rifle or a Kroot rifle or a snub-nosed Kroot rifle or something where it's like a shotgun. You know, 6-inch range, but hits on +1 BS and something like that. Yeah. We then get one of the Kroot Hounds and someone with 2 melees. So this does seem pretty standard fare for kill teams at the moment. Some guy normally has 2 melee weapons, so they can run up and hit stuff extra good. We then get the Pekra lady, awesome, and heavy weapon dude. That looks like, just, you know, looking at the way it curves back there, that looks like almost, I would say, a harpoon type weapon. Just throwing it out there. I mean, but then we do see, you know, ammunition cartridges there, and like that isn't really attached to that. Maybe it's an energy weapon of some sort. Don't know. But first, just initial look, I felt harpoon was the thing. That could just be part of the hunter aesthetic, though. We then get another Kroot Hound and just a dude walking forwards, but obviously he's on his last leg, shall we say? And that's it. That's the Kroot. Okay. Terrain. Finally. Right, let's look at this. As any kill team veteran will tell you, the kill zone makes the game, and while this warren of walls, doors, pillars, panels, tanks, and pipes makes for some frighteningly claustrophobic encounters on the Gallowdark. And what? I feel like there was meant to be an and or a but at the end of that sentence, but never mind. What do we got here? So we're now seeing, if we zoom in a little bit more, there we go, let's zoom in for you all. This here is just a super cool looking cinematic shot with a door separating the 2 walls of fighting, a hatch, what are they called? An airlock. Cool. Then here we see something else. We see no miniatures on the board, fair enough, but also no pieces of terrain, like none of the scatter, none of the light terrain lying around. Could it be that this here is actually like the standard layout and then you're only ever changing the light terrain around it? Maybe. Although if we look at that and then we look up here, this cinematic shot isn't coming from this board. So I don't really know what's up with that, I suppose. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out. As any kill team, yep, okay. And then we have a series of walls and panels. It does just look like a bunch of different walls. Is this everything? Are we going to get multiple of them? Who knows? Literally no idea. You get a massive collection of 54 individual parts in this box, and it's almost infinitely expandable, not least when the next set arrives 3 months later, bringing with it a whole new set of compatible Space Hulk scenery. So we've already kind of know that that's what they're doing with this what's the word? Season. We've been told that every 3 months we're going to get a new kit, which should be backwards compatible. So it's not going to be Zone Mortalis. It's going to be, I assume, another set of this kit. You know, maybe this is like, I've said this before, but maybe this is a particular aesthetic of, you know, these are the dungeons. These are the engine rooms. That's why you have all of these little bits of tanker and stuff hanging around. But then when you actually get through it, the next one will be the living quarters. We have lots of different. We'll see what the 40k version of bunk beds are. They'll probably just be bunk beds, I guess. But maybe instead of a mattress, you have a servitor, a lobotomized human as your bed. I don't know. But yeah, that's a possibility. And hopefully it will be backwards compatible, but also still have its own aesthetic. I do hope they link the two. I hope they don't just say, hey, look at that, you've got one kit. And even though we've linked it thematically, narratively, and it's completely interchangeable with the new kit, we're not actually going to give you any like in-game benefit to that. But then, you know, I've said that, I immediately take it back, because that would imply that you have to buy both kits to get the full value of it, which is obviously insane, because these are really expensive. You then get the core book and Into the Dark, which is great. We were told that the core book was going to be in it. Do note that the core book hasn't been updated, it seems. It just looks like a standard rulebook, as opposed to the Into the Dark. There are two rulebooks contained within this set, a 144-page Kill Team core book containing the full rule set and everything you need to know to fight fast-paced skirmishes of the Fortress Millennium on solid ground or in the depths of space, and the Kill Team Into the Dark rules manual. The 120-page tome contains full kill zone and close quarters rules, asterisk, for scrapping in the confined spaces of the Gallowdark, as well as 18 missions, 9 each for narrative and match play, plus a new type of campaign, and all the rules and lore you'll need to play the 2 teams you get in the box. A new type of campaign, interesting. So that's not just the narrative missions, which we've had in the previous boxes. A new campaign type. Okay, now, you know, I'm just a guy that talks about Kill Team. I don't even play it anymore, right? But that was a joke. I just wanted to put that out there. I do play Kill Team. Thank you. But interesting. I wonder what they're going to do for the campaign. I was never really grabbed by the campaign in the first core rulebook, because, I don't know, I kind of struggle when it comes to narrative stuff. It requires a lot more investment and time than like a single match play game. But, you know, as time moves on, for me, perhaps I'm more and more interested in narrative. Who knows? It also introduces the shadowy story of this mysterious Space Hulk. So that's kind of cool. Perhaps we're going to go through this edition and we get a real in-depth look at the Gallowdark, and maybe some new background on Space Hulks in general. Don't know. On top of all that, you get all the equipment counters, cards, and so on for the full Kill Team experience. That means a sheet of 85 double-sided tokens. I'm going to stop reading that. You also get all of the cards. Are we going to get a reprint of whatever that card was that was wrong? Let's hope so. Oh man, if they don't do that, if they don't reprint the wrong card, and they leave the core book untouched, that's going to be a bit of a slap in the face, isn't it? And one double-sided game board hosts all your bulkheads and barricades. Phew, that's a real bundle. These new rules are completely compatible with all the Kill Teams released in this edition so far, from the existing box expansions, Issues of White Dwarf, and the Kill Team Compendium. Yep, and there's more to come. The Gallow Dark is a big place and we'll be exploring its vast and varied environments for a while. There are some very cool new visitors coming to the corridors on that 3-month release cycle. Very cool new visitors coming to the corridors. Cool. Is there a faction that runs on cryo tech? No. Alright, fair enough. All of this makes Kill Team Into the Dark the perfect place to begin your Kill Team journey. Even if you've never played Warhammer before, we'll have more info soon, including when you'll be able to pre-order the box on this very website. Sign up for you to get the CAT service sent straight to your inbox, and the asterisk. More on those as we venture deeper into the Space Hulk. Cool. Right, so they kind of already said it at the bottom there, and I just wanted to reiterate it. I do think having new entry points to a game is really good. So I actually really like that. I like that we're going to be able to, you know, if there's new blood trying to get into the game, we kind of can forget about Octarius, which you can't get anymore. And you can forget about, you know, the possible issues we've had with Compendium and the growing pains. And you can just say, hey, get into the dark. This is the new box set. You get everything you need in the box. Go for it. I think that's cool. I like that. I like that. I like, as someone that is currently looking at like alternate games from like Mantic, Privateer Press, Corvus Belli, etc. There's something really nice about GW putting out these kind of lost leaders, as they call it, these intro boxes, and being able to just say, hey, that box, buy it. You have every single thing you need. Is it expensive? Maybe. You know, it's different for everybody, but having that is super useful. Anyway, I then went over to the video and picked up this bad boy for you. They did a little Into the Dark pull out here for 2 missions. Mission 1.1, Reinforced Chamber. Mission 2.2, Full Scale Attack. Now I can't really, zoom in enough to see the, you know, we can't do a full squint hammer on this, but if we, there we go, so you can see it as well. You're not quite seeing as much as I do. Let's go Reinforced Chamber first. There we go. So we see mission rules, secure the area, friendly operatives, and then I'm lost. And then the next thing is restart, and there's power up 1 AP, mission objective. Each time a friendly operative performs the power up mission action, you score 1 VP. At the end of the battle, for each something friendly objective held, you score 2 VPs. Okay, cool. Seems pretty standard. Perform an action, get a VP. Then hold that thing, score more VPs. But then we have full scale attack and we have the map. So 2.2 full scale attack. At the end of each turning phase, it must be turning point, mustn't it? For each enemy operative, for each something objective marker, friendly operatives command, score, hold, you score 1 VP. For each, to be clear, I'm just reading this. I'm not, like, I haven't done anything to this. That's why I'm struggling through it. For each other additional, I don't know, objective marker, your operatives, for each other objective marker in your opponent's drop zone that friendly operatives control, you score 2 VPs. Okay, so if we then look at the, I've moved it. Whoops. So if we then look at the map here, you see we've got these objective markers in deployment zones. Obviously, you'll start on them. You'll immediately capture them because you're stood on them. And then we have 2 in the middle. And it's saying, if we look at this, it seems like we've got a straight corridor here and here. Then there's no corridor there. So I'd have to assume that these here are a key of some sort, all these little white lines. Basically, we're looking at a key. This is a deployment map. Folks, I mean, okay, look, this could just be like narrative in the old Octarius box, where they did tell you where to put all of your terrain, but maybe this isn't. In fact, if we look here, critical operations, something. Gallowdark Mission Pack, Mission 2.2. This is the critical operations. Guys, that's not narrative. Narrative is special operations. Spec Ops. This is a competitive match play tournament pack. And they are giving us terrain layout. That's right, I saved the best for last. Guys, it kind of looks like we have a new match play tournament pack. I'm just saying, what does that mean? Now, this is basically another video in and of itself, but for the old edition of 40k Kill Team, we had Arena, which was the competitive indoor mission pack, and nobody played it as a competitive pack, apart from like one guy, Kill Team Stream, who bought up like 50 sets so that he could do it in North America only, and the tournaments that he ran only. You know, amazing job by him, of course. Huge amount of investment for an individual to do and to give to the community in the form of his tournaments. But now we have this. How is the community going to handle a competitive pack that has to have this terrain? Are we going to ignore it? I think it's amazing. I think it's great. Let me tell you the issues. Firstly, as we know from Arena, local game stores are not going to buy enough sets of Gallowdark for themselves to then put on the table to host a tournament. They just won't. Like maybe one or two shops will, if they have a huge community of Kill Team players, but the majority will not. So we have to then ask, okay, are we splitting the community? Are we suddenly having some people that will say, I'm playing the Gallowdark mission pack, a critical operations mission pack, and I'm playing it with that terrain? Are we going to be playing the close quarters rules, whatever those are, in the Octarius boards? Are we never crossing the streams? Like, what do we do? This is obviously very early. This is just the thoughts that pop into my head as soon as I see a mission pack with defined terrain from this one box. But I don't think that's bad. In fact, one of the major things that everybody has been asking for in the tournament community is for Games Workshop to tell us how to lay out our boards. Everybody has wanted that. Every TO that I've spoken to has said they would like this. Every community member that has to make a tournament or produce content has said, I would like some guidance from Games Workshop. Boys, we've got our guidance. This is what you do. Now, are you willing to kit out your tournament with 20 sets of Gallowdark terrain? For the buy-in of a mere £300, £3,000, sorry. Are you going to do that? No, you're not. What do we do? This is a question that I want to leave it on, because obviously the answer is simple. We just never play this. We play Octarius because Octarius, when we say Octarius, we just mean the kill zone, which means you can use any terrain at all. Or are we going to mesh the two and say that we have access to this generic 40k terrain, but we're going to play Gallowdark rules, which I assume means close quarters combat rules? Is that what we're going to do? I don't know. Very interested. You know, it's all about the first few tournaments, the big tournament scenes, and what they decide to do. Ignore Warhammer World, as you know, as good as they are, as good as they set out those boards, but they've done a great job for it. They're kind of relegating themselves to obscurity by only doing 3 rounds in a day. You know, with 50 plus players doing 3 rounds, kind of pointless, to be honest. Real sad, real shame, but it is what it is, you know, corporate mandates or whatever. But what's the community going to do? Are we just going to play close combat rules on Octarius terrain? And when I say Octarius terrain, of course, I just mean whatever generic 40k terrain we decide we make our maps up out of. Are we going to try and make really dense outdoor boards, you know, Octarius boards, and then just, you know, play them with Gallowdark rules? Or are we just going to completely ignore it? I have no idea whatsoever. What am I doing here? And with that said, let's go back to this. Guys, this has been Glass Half Dead. I hope you're hyped for Kill Team into the Dark Terrain. I certainly am. And I hope you've had a good day and continue to have a good day. Goodbye.